Hello everyone, welcome back to the Afro Food Diary. Welcome back to this week's yummy episode. As promised in my last video, I'm going to be showing you what to do with Fiofio. In the last video, as I'll link in this video, you will see me making Fiofio. It's a kind of a local beans. I'm not really sure what the English name is, but it's called Fiofio. And if you watch that video, you will see what it looks like before I cooked it and what it looks like after I cooked it. Okay, so I promised I will share with us one recipe, like one other way to make Fiofio. And that's what I'm doing in this video. I'm going to be making AYARAYA Ji. That's what I remember it being called back in the days. Yes, it's a mix of a native beans and crushed yams. Okay, in a rich palm oil sauce. Okay, so let me walk you through how I achieve this recipe. I may not have all the ingredients as it's made back home, but this recipe will fit you who actually maybe lives in the diaspora or who doesn't have all the ingredients available to you. You can always freestyle. I love to say that. Yeah, so let's get in, guys, and start making ayaraya G. Okay. So as the name of the recipe implies, we'll be needing yam. And here I just cut open the yam I got from the African store here and just tested, and it's good. But I noticed that when I got towards the head, it's a little bit discolored. That's what you see here. But taste and every other thing is okay. So I'm going ahead to peel the yam, cut it in little pieces like this, and then I'll go on and wash it in a bit and start to boil it. Off to the cooktop. So I put it on a medium to high heat, and once it boils, I'll go on to add a little bit of salt to it. Add some kind of salt to this yam ahead of time. It helps the taste afterwards. So here are the other ingredients I'll be needing to make the rich sauce. I have oba, but you can skip that if you don't have it available. I have that amount of onions, salt. I have blended crayfish, 1 star seasoning cube, and leftover kilishi. You can skip that as well if you don't have it available. Okay, it's actually not part of this recipe. I added it. So the yam is ready now, and I go on to just crush it a little bit. It doesn't need to be smooth, but just crush it so it's not like in bigger chunks anymore. You can see I still have some crumbs in there. Cover it to keep the heat in while we work on the sauce. Okay, so I need this amount of palm oil. Guys, you start with palm oil and then you bleach it to come out looking, you know how you bleach palm oil to come out looking like it's vegetable oil. Sometimes when I'm not patient enough to let it bleach well, then you have this residue taste in your mouth, and that's not good. I have some frozen scent leaf. I didn't introduce that earlier, but it adds a lot of flavor into the sauce. Okay, so I added a handful of crushed fresh frozen scent leaves. So I'll stir that in and let that flavor just flow. Okay, next I added the oba. Remember, you can skip this one if you don't have it. It's just me trying to make sure I have as much native stuff in this sauce as possible. So I add that and stir in, and now I'm adding the 1 star seasoning cube. Okay, I think sometimes you can even just leave the Maggi all out. Okay, this is a native dish, you can do with just salt, but crayfish is very, very important. I added the crayfish and kilishi at this point. Feel free to skip the kilishi if you don't have it. Okay, it's just a flavor, and feel free to use as much dry fish as possible if you have that available. I also added a little bit of salt, being careful not to add too much. At this point, I added the crushed yam, like you can see right now. So add and stir and make sure that the yam is well coated in the sauce. Once the yam is well coated, I go in with the already pre-cooked fiofio from our last video. Okay, remember this fiofio is already spiced with crayfish, with seasoning and the salt. Okay, so it's ready. I actually ate it with pap the last time, if you remember, in the last video. Go on and watch that video if you haven't already. Okay, guys, so I was stirring the fiofio at this point, and this dish is pretty ready. So if you want a green effect in it, you can add properly washed bitter leaf, just a little bit of it. Okay, you can also use baby spinach, guys, baby spinach. If you have that available, just give it a good slice and use it to finish off this dish. You can add fresh scent leaf, a little tiny bit of utazi leaf if you want. Yes, so with that, this is our AYARAYA Ji Fiofio and Yam recipe ready. Give it a try and let me know what you think about it. Thank you so much for being a part of this episode this week. I really appreciate you. Hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you in my next video. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.